And welcome to episode 89, Redley Retrocast Anime Edition here. JD Tori Hickey, here to review 2 anime on this day. Perhaps 3 if Tori and Hickey want to keep going into the Violence Jack that we're about to talk about. And the other one is Project Eiko. Very interesting 2 we have picked for this one, to say the least. They both came out in June of 1986, so they're kind of entwined together, at least in our minds. Tori, how you doing today?
I'm tired as fuck.
I think we all are. It's been a long week.
Yeah, no, my week isn't over yet. I'm currently busy with exams, so as any good exam does, they come out and be like, so, it's Friday, right?
Uh-huh.
We're gonna hand you an exam.
Mm-hmm.
A 20-page exam that's due on Monday.
Oh.
Enjoy your weekend.
I'm so glad you're taking time out of your 20-page exam to review 2 excellent anime.
Yeah, thankfully I pulled a crazy one yesterday, so I'm actually pretty close to being done. So.
Oh, hey, all right, just in time.
Yeah, just in time. Nah, I needed this break anyways.
Good. Hickey, how's your break going?
Well, actually, I am satisfied. I haven't slept much, but that's okay, because I'm the weird type. Usually when people get stressed, they sleep a lot. I'm the opposite. When I'm satisfied, I just sleep a little bit. So tomorrow I'll probably be out, just pass out until Monday, if that happens. But when things are doing great, I usually just sleep 2-3 hours a night. Don't know why. Maybe I just don't like sleeping.
That's right. Join my side.
Yeah, and then I bought a bunch of expensive beer yesterday. There was a nice live stream I wanted to watch, so I bought a double IPA, and I drank all of it. It was really delicious, and I have another one. A very, 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 very expensive can of beer I bought. The last one from the same brand I bought, it was the Cocoa IPA. That thing was confusing. Like, I drank that. It was probably the best beer I ever drank in my entire life, but it was so confusing. I still don't know how to describe the taste. It's just like only drinking it, you understand the taste of that beer.
By cocoa,
really, really
you mean
nice.
a chocolate-flavored beer?
Yes, it was chocolate-flavored.
Yeah, I've had one of those
IPA.
Recently myself. See, we're talking IPA language. I like this language. Tori, do you have any experience with the IPA language?
I have, only once. And,
only once. He's missing out.
Sucked. No, it fucking sucked. It was awful.
Absolutely.
That shit was horrid.
Why? It tastes like mango juice.
The IPA that I drank did not taste like mango juice. It tastes like fucking...
The IPA I drink, at least the double IPAs, I mean, at least might be only me. It tastes like mango. I don't know why. That's my impression of it.
Nah, fucking the one I tasted, that was literally just, it tasted like liquid vomit.
Oh, that sucks. What about you, JD? Do you think it tastes like mango as well?
What, the cocoa?
Fruity?
The cocoa IPA?
No, the IPA.
Or just IPA in general?
Yeah.
There was a time when I thought it was just too bitter with the overpowering with the hops flavor, so I'd resort to a lot of pale ales. But over the last, I want to say 5 years, I've delved more into IPA. It's almost like the formula companies have done has changed over the years, and now it tastes closer to a pale ale than it did in the past. And
the American type.
Yeah, at least all the breweries I get here in America, whether Maine, Vermont,
the American Pale Ale.
Yeah,
the American Pale Ale it's nice as well. I still prefer the strong Indian. Oh yeah. They are also selling Christmas beer, but
oof, not a fan.
Like, no, it sounds good. I don't know. It's a stout. It's a stout beer. It's hazelnut and vanilla imperial stout.
I have had a beer like that fairly recently, actually.
And
the back end flavor is pretty overpowering. with the hazelnut. It almost tastes closer to a coffee than anything else.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wasn't the greatest fan of it. But Christmas beers, I'm generally not fans of because I'm just not fans of fruity flavor in my beer to begin with. So I generally just don't drink those because I don't like them.
Oh, so you probably don't like the IPA I bought? It
No.
was it's only described as juicy IPA in English. But it's because, come on, it's fucking summer. I need fruity flavor stuff. Or
there is the occasional sour beer
myself.
I'll drink, but it's definitely not my first choice. I have
the
recently
Imperial
delved
Stout,
into
the Christmas one. I don't drink because they are usually stouts. And guess what? It's 50 Celsius outside.
Wow.
It's not a fun climate to drink stuff.
What do you mean? Just get out your Christmas decorated AC.
Christmas decorated AC.
with the shiny lights and.
I could see that now. Hickey's in his place and he just goes, "All right, where's the air conditioner? Bust it out. We got to put Christmas lights on that bitch."
Yeah, pretty much.
We don't get trees here in Brazil. We got AC units.
Yeah, no. I remember pine trees. When was the first time I actually saw a pine tree? I think it was 15 already. Because they fucking die where I live.
Yeah,
survive.
I was about to say that fucking pine trees. You know what's nice about them? They burn real nice.
There are pine trees. There are pine trees, but they're more to the south, and they are open up like a normal tree,
right?
Because it's an adaptation to the climate. But they are actually pine trees. But the actual Christmas pine tree, I was like, oh, so this is a real one. I see.
Meanwhile, here it's just like I don't really understand the whole tradition of bringing Christmas trees into your house because I just have to look outside my window to look at pine trees. It's literally right outside. So,
but it's the festivity Tori, of decorating it with the family and hiding the pickle in there, so people can search for it and get an extra present.
What?
Fuck on, JD. Are you okay?
What? It's a German tradition. It is a German tradition to hide a pickle or an ornament in the tree, and then the kids search the tree to find the pickle, and whoever gets it gets a year of good luck or an extra present.
I'd rather take the extra present. Fuck that year of good luck.
Well, look, man, if you're super poor, you're going to take the year of good luck.
Yeah, except then you'll realize that your year of good luck is going to be just like that fucking one woman from the second OVA of Violence Jack. I believe in my good luck. I don't know about that. I would not.
That is an interesting tradition.
It's a dumb tradition.
No, I mean...
the only tradition we have here with trees is that, before Christmas, everybody gets together and then you dance around the Christmas tree, shit like that. But even that is long dead.
Okay.
Even that is a long dead.
I'm sorry, I just picture you dancing around the...
I had to do that when I was a kid. It's not fun.
Tori and his family, arm shoulder to shoulder, arms around, in a circle around the tree.
JD. You assume that we do stuff with our family. That's cute.
Oh, is that not a Norwegian tradition?
No.
It was just Tori alone as a kid, just dancing around.
Oh, no, I was not alone.
Throws candy at him, pelts him in the head.
My
Dance for us, son. Dance for us.
My parents were not involved. It's just kids and, adults from, your school and stuff like that. It's a teacher stuff, and if you go to church, it's a religious thing, so you'll have to do it with, the people at church and stuff like that. But other than that... that's because you have no traditions, Icky God.
That is true.
Your country is nowhere near.
Christmas tradition, it's mostly, I guess, American style, honestly. It's basically the same thing.
What, eat a bunch of ham, complain about your family members, get in fights, and then...
Yeah, pretty much.
Bitch to your parents that you didn't get the gift you wanted.
Yeah, because I don't have a Christmas tree because it's a little bit, still a little bit complicated when you have a Christmas tree because you still have the religious side of the Christmas tree. There's a day to mount the Christmas tree. There's a day to dismount the Christmas tree, and the date is February, I believe. So you need to leave that Christmas tree like through the whole January on your living room. And my father was like, "Fuck this shit. I don't give you presents. Why the fuck would I give you a fucking tree?" So,
I've never given you anything.
Yeah,
I gave you a roof over your head. You don't even pay rent. Fuck you.
When I was really, really, really little, then we used to have the Christmas tree and the presents under it. You put mistletoe?
Yes.
Christmas thing on your door.
The dumb leaf above the doorway, and then you got to kiss someone who goes under.
Everyone does that. A lot of people does that. The same thing. It's pretty much very close to just American movies and like Christmas movies. It's pretty much that.
Let me ask you this: does anybody make a fruit cake and then give it to somebody so it functions as a doorstop for the rest of the year?
No, we don't do fruit cakes. Not the American type. I know the American type of fruit cake. It's just American cake in general is very
Well,
American fruitcake is a literal rock.
Yeah, the Christmas fruitcake in America is a rock. Coincidentally enough, I've never seen one in my life. But people constantly talk about this. I've only seen it in movies and like episodes of Seinfeld.
We have it's like with crystal fruit, right? Dry fruit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we have a bread with that. It's an Italian bread. It's very fluffy and good. So I kind of enjoy that. It's not a cake.
Sounds like German fruitcake.
Really nice. Yeah, but the name is in Italian, so I think it was
probably
Italian
not
at
German
some point. Yeah, probably not. But we call bread French bread, even though I think it's Italian bread anyway. But we call bread French bread because it looks like a baguette.
Well, do you guys celebrate St. Nicholas Day tomorrow?
No.
I think I talk about this every year around the podcast, but December 6th is the... Well, it's the one where you leave the boot outside your door, and then if you're good, it gets filled with candy. But if you're bad, you stick your foot in, and there's like tacks and shit at the bottom.
Fuck no.
No? Just a German tradition in my family?
That is some dumb shit. Like, the only thing we've had that involves
just
candy...
Just be a good person, you have nothing to worry about.
No, I have nothing to worry about. That's not really my problem. My problem more is this: like the only thing that involves candy for us is like, as a kid, you have like the tradition of like you have like your Christmas stocking. That's the only tradition we have that you get. But before Christmas, there is like, there is nothing like official, right? You have you just have like you have like the like 4 Sundays of Advent, like counting up to Christmas, obviously. But other than that,
not familiar with this.
No, it's a church thing. Basically,
we have wildly different traditions. Strange, coming from 3 different countries and backgrounds.
Every single Sunday, they light up a candle on the church, and it's called Advent. Yeah, because I'll probably participate on it tomorrow.
We don't do it at church. We do it at home.
Yeah. I mean, I guess it's because no one will do that at home, so the church is like,
you lazy pieces of shit, get out of there.
Like, it's more a community thing. Get together with your community and do it on a community space. So the church does that.
Nobody likes their community here.
You think I know my neighbors? Hell no.
I see them and I'm going like, hey, it's my guy.
It's that dude who lives over there.
We talk to each other like maybe once a week when we accidentally run into each other going for the mail or something. But other than that, I don't know you. I don't know what you do. I don't even know your name. Let's keep it that way.
Oh, man. Good stuff.
Hey, weird guy that lives on my building. Hello.
Hey, it's that dude who always likes screaming. Fuck you.
Ooh.
Oh, yeah.
You're the one that makes the walls bang every night. Anyways,
want to elaborate on that?
Just every once in a while, I hear my neighbor. She usually around the same time every night, the wall starts banging. I'm like, that's interesting.
Yeah,
it's a new one because the old one with the dog, I think, got evicted during the coronavirus period. Yeah, so that was nice. Good times. Gotta love the country after all.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know. Alright. Anything else?
I don't think so.
Another, for the second time in less than a month, someone asked me to exhumate a body.
More dead body talk.
I was
Awesome.
like, why is this happening again? Like, it is the first time it was weird, but like the second time is like, what did I do wrong?
I'm a lawyer. What the hell?
Yeah, it's the same. At least it's easier this time. It's just to get like DNA for DNA exam, so I can just ask the guy's mother to donate DNA. It doesn't need to be the actual body, but yeah. I was like, why does this keep happening? Like by the end of the year, it's like, hopefully it doesn't happen a third time.
Somebody is going to manifest out of nowhere in front of you and be like, "Hey,
Pretty much.
I'm going to need you to do something with this body right here that I conveniently brought with me."
Yeah. There was a few VTubers debuting, and I told Tori yesterday, like, there's no one today, but someone will fucking manifest out of thin air whenever I'm trying to do something, and it is exactly what happened. It's like every single time. Don't be a lawyer. If you can avoid becoming a lawyer, that's the
If you
best.
can avoid becoming a lawyer, don't be a lawyer. And if you're going to be a lawyer who's paid well.
That's right.
Yeah, be a lawyer.
You don't want to go the engineering route where your industry changes so often that you lose a job.
Yeah. Be a lawyer enough time until you become a civil servant. So you can like pass the fucking exam and become a civil servant. That's the best route if you went to law school.
Yeah. Did you guys get any games during the Black Friday kind of Thanksgiving America sale?
Yes.
What'd you get?
No.
But I do you want to know which one I got?
I have to know now.
I got Seinen Kagura Pitchball, the pinball game.
Tori, he
And
would.
I've been playing it religiously. Like
Of
every
course you
single
did.
day. Yeah.
No fucking. No one likes Seinen Kagura like Hickey does.
Oh, dude, Seinen Kagura
I can't
is a
blame the
really,
man for
really,
liking titties.
really-
Come on.
I don't blame him either. I know that the people that like Seinen Kagura like it a lot, but it's like.
The actual story is very good for some reason. Again, Japan keeps doing that shit. They do the most silly fucking game and put a fucking awesome story in that. Fucking Akiba Strip is the same shit. You
Because
go
they know
around
people
stripping
like that
people. Fucking like you just go around beating the shit out of women and men and then stripping them up and then selling the clothes for money. But the story is very fucking good. At some point, you're just a really, really weird ass crossdresser going around like sexual harassing people. But the story is actually very, very, very well written for some fucking reason. The same goes to Seinen Kagura. I don't know why they keep doing that. It's just for some reason that every single good script writer in Japan is also a fucking huge buff.
Yeah. Of course they are. It's okay though. Seinen Kagura is dead anyways.
I don't know about that one.
It is.
No, it's dead.
It is. Who does Seinen Kagura belong to? Marvelous? I think it's Marvelous USA who publishes it, but I don't remember who actually make the game, and they just fired the guy.
Oh, well, there you go.
Fired the writer, the director.
Well, he wasn't fired though. He stepped away. He wasn't wanted, and Sony is currently Sony is currently like.
Oh yeah, it's because
we don't wanna encourage these types of games. And it's like, all right, fuck everyone.
Of course
I'm
not.
out.
Can't be doing that now, Tori.
Of course, right? Because there's nothing worse to the games industry than having options and stuff like that. That is that is horrible. No. Everybody needs to play the
I'm
same
glad
game.
you see the logic in it.
Yeah, which is very sad. I was really, really, really excited for the next Seinen Kagura game.
Not anymore.
I finally got my my own. I said this on the Retro Gaming podcast, but finally got my very own
Retro Gaming
Yes,
podcast?
you know what, Tori? I'm glad you brought that up. Time for plugs. Red Leaf Retrocast. We have retro gaming, anime, of course, and wrestling. So go check out all our audio content that we have to offer. I hope you'll enjoy. Find it on all your podcasting platforms. Twitter @BowlingJD. Hickey, Tori, you guys got Twitter? Mighty Hickey, Tori RLR. I like the name change. Always do.
That's an old name change, but yes.
Yes, well, you got to bring it up. Sometimes people forget. Maybe they listen to an older episode and they're like, well, shit, that's not his name anymore.
Well, shit, I can't find him on Twitter anymore. What happened?
Yeah, weird.
Where'd he go?
Tori, you also have a YouTube, Top Anime Scholar.
Anime Top Scholar.
Anime Top Scholar, of course. That's what I said. I was testing you to make sure you could plug it twice.
Yes, of course. Yes. Where, it's a bit slow going over there right now again. Exam period and all that, so I don't really have time to work on videos. But as soon as I go on Christmas break, which should be around the 14th, I'll get back to it.
Yeah. Oh,
I've also almost reached 1,000 subs. I'm like 11 subscribers away, so
Damn. Well, get on that, listeners. Help that guy out get to 1,000. There you go. I do have something in the works, just personal projects. Been getting a lot of feedback and wishes from listeners of just more content, so you can kind of assume something's in the works and on the way. Just mostly personal projects for me and what people want. And then there's a big change coming to the Modern Gaming podcast with how hosts are changing, how content's changing out there, and how just the modern current gen is changing all on its own with the new PS5 and Series X coming that are out now that no one has.
Coming out.
Yeah. So keep an eye on all the news and stuff. Some big changes coming for 2021, but I can't announce that the Modern Gaming Cast is coming to an end this month. So. But current gen games will still be covered in one form or another. Just pay attention to the changes coming, and I hope everyone enjoys what's in the works for 2021. Always try to change up the podcast in some form of fashion each year. So that's the next change coming. Keep everything fresh. Now for
Meanwhile,
the game,
we just stay the same.
anime podcast stays the same. What have you?
Yeah, except because I guess we either just fluctuate in the free talk. That's about it.
Yeah, who needs anime topics? We did that at the beginning of the podcast. We got all our opinions and stuff out there. Go listen to those past episodes for all the deep dives.
We just talk about food. For all of you who are keeping the time, yeah. For all of you who are keeping the timeline, we are currently in the third quarter of an anime podcast life cycle.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
We are the one where it's the one where you stop watching anime for most parts and just talk bullshit on the podcast. We're nearing the end, guys. I'm sorry.
I mean, it lasted more than I thought it would.
And then we'll see. We'll keep going for as long as we can. But
well, these retro ones are super fun. I'm still having a blast recording that. It's just insane. I don't miss. In hindsight, I don't miss the 3-4 hour podcast episodes for the anime. We had our time with that, but still reviewing these old ones are quite fun. Meeting in every 2 weeks. It's not a big commitment at all for me, anyway.
No, it's not. It depends. It kind of depends on what we're talking about. Sure. The problem with the old one was trying to find our feet, just discussing random shit and trying to make everything last, and then it's shit, now we've suddenly been going for 4 hours. Should we think about maybe getting our thoughts out soon? Or but now it's whatever, we just hit record, say some words, maybe if we have a topic to talk about that, then we talk about the anime, which depends on the anime. Sometimes we can talk about an anime for a long time, and sometimes it's there's nothing really to say here, so it depends.
All right. With that, I guess I'll play the Icky. I don't seem to ask you what drop I should play that you can't hear.
Yo,
what are you feeling today?
I mean, since we're reviewing Gonagai, can you put anything with the Devilman?
I have the "This is bullshit" and "Hey, fuck you."
That's good enough.
Which one? Both of them?
Yes.
All right, I'll play them both. Here we go.
Rio, this is bullshit. Okay, open the door and let's take a swing at the mother. Hey. Fuck you.
All right, double drop today. Thank Tori for that one, or Hickey. Oh my God, messing up the names.
Yes, thank me.
Thank Tori,
Me!
anyways.
Thank you, Tori.
You're welcome.
All right, so we got 2 anime to discuss, possibly the second OVA with Violence Jack. I'm sure Hickey and Tori will delve into it nonetheless. We got Violence Jack and Project A-ko. You guys feeling Project A-ko first, and then we'll go into Violence Jack?
Sure.
Yeah. There's honestly like nothing to talk about. All right, Project A-ko score.
All right. So this is good. Project A-ko was released on June 21st, 1986. It spans an hour and a half. It is by Studio APPP Anime. So Triple P. It's the same. It's the same one that did. We've covered these. Golden Boy and Rujin Z.
Yeah, I mean, for those of you who watch a lot of like 2000s anime, you'll know that APPP is credited on like everything.
Lots of things.
Because there's like they're like a helper studio thing.
Not on this one. They were in charge. So yes, I got the synopsis from Anime Planet here. A-ko is the brawn, B-ko is the brains, and C-ko is, well, C-ko. They'd make a great team, but A-ko and B-ko are rivals for C-ko's friendship. And if that wasn't confusing enough, real thing in the summary, there's an army of extraplanetary forces gunning for her too. The battle begins, though not without some comedy. I have to know what the My Anime List synopsis is.
You want me to do it? I can do it.
Ooh, Tori, you can do that, yes.
16 years after its destruction by a meteor, Graviton City has been rebuilt into a futuristic metropolis. However, this is of little concern to superpowered high school student Eiko Megami. Because, you know, Eiko, for some reason, instead of... whatever.
Right, they spell it out here.
Who only cares...
God.
Who only cares about her best friend, Shiko Kotobuki, and arriving at school on time. And that's a lie. She does not care about that.
Right.
If she did, she would arrive on time.
Right.
Unfortunately, the incredibly intelligent Biko Daitokuji intends to befriend Shiko, taking Eiko's place as Shiko's best friend, using any means she can.
Mm-hmm.
Biko decides that, to accomplish this, she must defeat Eiko in combat. In order to overcome her super strength and speed, Biko creates a mecha and challenges Eiko in front of their school gate. As the two commence their battle, an extremely large spaceship hovers over Earth, searching for something left behind.
Right. Yeah. That's kind of like the entire opening like dialogue for the OVA.
Basically.
Or movie. Movie?
Mm-hmm.
Who cares?
It's an OVA, but it's an OVA movie.
There are a number of sequels to this, I believe 4 like follow-up movies, and then a sequel series of 2 other follow-up movies. So maybe they answer some questions there.
Honestly, I don't even have questions. I just don't care.
Yeah, not really. It has a 6.87 score on My Anime List upon we're recording this. Yeah. What did everyone think? Just overall thoughts of the movie.
So,
I
think you can go first.
Was very bored about it. The name is not. It was released in Brazil. The name was Supernova.
Oh,
by the way, yeah,
totally relatable.
I heard that.
Yeah. I honestly don't care. That's what he said. Like, this is what, almost 2 hours? No, 1 hour and 40 minutes?
No, just under an hour and a half.
24 minutes.
Yeah. And I was, man, the feelings I felt. And I don't have feelings, just so you know. I barely express any feelings. Okay, the beginning was very, very, very bad because most of the time you're just listening to Seiko crying and whining, and it is very loud and it is very high pitched, and it gave me a headache.
I'm going to interrupt you and make a comment about that. So Seiko does indeed cry, bitch, and moan the entire time. The voice is draining. Tori, perhaps you can relate to this. Really reminded me of that one character from Demon Slayer.
Yes, in the sense that she's crying. To me, she kind of reminds me more of like, what the hell's that girl's name from Kill la Kill?
Yes.
Mako?
Mako, yes.
Mako, yeah. Also relatable.
Mako's not as bad, but they share a lot of similar moments, I guess. And they're like visual humor and way of acting and dealing with situations and being dumb.
I will say something positive.
No, don't do it.
Yes, I will.
No.
I like the character design of Eiko. There you go.
It's alright.
Yeah.
I guess I would go with, if we go in character design, I would go with Biko then.
Of course you would.
What? What is that supposed to mean? What?
Of course you like her, considering that Mekasuchi got.
Hold on. What do you mean? Well, okay. Okay. I am hangover, and I don't have the mental capability to defend myself right now. So
attack him further, Tori. Do it.
Yeah.
Basically, he doesn't have a defense. What he's trying to say.
No, I just cannot think about something. I'm using all my brain power right now to just speak.
That's sad.
It is. I drank a lot yesterday. I won't lie. It was like a double IPA, well, a liter and a half. It was a lot of beer in less than 30 minutes. So like, I just chugged
there was a day recently where I had a triple IPA.
Oh, nice. What, 20%?
No, it's not that strong, but it's like 13. Like,
yeah.
I had one, and then I woke up hungover the next day. I'm like, dude! Then kicked my ass.
Here the standard double IPA, it's between like 13 and 16.
Wow.
So I just chugged that in like 40 minutes.
I should have been watching Project Eiko. So before we get further sidetracked.
It would be good. And then I was just, then, you know, it happened what it happens when I'm not enjoying the movie or the show. I just open Idolmaster and start playing a rhythm game. And I was listening to it, but looking at, like, knowing Japanese comes in clutch in those times. I don't need to look at the screen to understand what's going on. I'm just listening to it. But yeah, Shiko is extremely annoying. Then you have Biko, who is extremely annoying. And then you have Eiko, which is also extremely annoying, but she's a little bit less annoying mostly the time because she's just reacting to stuff that is happening around her.
I suppose not the worst.
Then you have the support characters, which I don't really care. Aside the gorilla woman, she's fun because she has the Moe voice. You have the D, which is a woman. That was
okay. So let's create some context here.
That is something that is so good. The bikini armor was so fucking cussed. I just want you to forget about it.
Let's create some context here for the listeners, Hickey. So
yeah,
there is, as the Mal synopsis said, a large spaceship hovering over Earth that is totally not the space battleship Yamato with extra bedazzle to it. they're searching for, turns out to be, not surprisingly, Seiko, their princess. Why? We don't know. They just are.
She's a shitty version of Superbad.
Yeah, sure. As it turns out, they are new students to a school, because of course they are. And Biko develops this obsession, or had already developed an obsession with Seiko. Us, the viewer, do not know why. You find out that they went to kindergarten together 10 years ago, and the only person that remembers is Biko.
That's
Biko
important.
believes Seiko is incredibly cute and adorable and naive, I guess, has that child thing. The show even references Seiko as being basically a 4-year-old in the way she acts. The show has a real bad habit of repetitive humor. Once they do it once, you'll see it at least 3 or 4 more times in basically the exact same manner, with a small twist maybe on the fourth one. Maybe you'll get a chuckle on it. I didn't. And then it becomes a monster of the week type thing where Eiko and Seiko will run to school, get met in front of the gate by Biko, who wants to use her mech design abilities to defeat her. And of course, it's easily defeatable, regardless of the situation. Why Eiko has superpowers, we don't know. She just does. And yet everyone's in awe of it, but no one really kind of bats an eye to it. There's like a small...
It just be like it is.
Yeah, they just kind of react and they go, oh, that's weird. And then that was it. The final battle that goes like the Peter Griffin fighting the chicken throughout the city scene is Eiko and Biko. Biko strips off into this like super leotard with wrist missiles or forearm missiles, and she gets super strength, not explained. And she has the ability to fly because of 2 sticks out of her back.
Mm-hmm.
They battle throughout the school, gets to the city, and then Seiko gets kidnapped by the spaceship people, and they fight the spaceship people, and then it goes off. That's the whole 90 minutes right there. What did I sum up that in less than 120 seconds?
I didn't take the time. Should have said something before, but sure.
I could have. So, the monster of the week thing, the battle outside the school. That's a big chunk of the anime here. Were you guys at least somewhat entertained by it? Did you get some chuckles out of it, or did you just kind of pick up your phone and go, "This is not interesting"?
Like I said,
I was already my phone 30 minutes before that. So that's your answer.
I don't care that much about it's fine for the action scenes. It's got some okay action in it. It's not like amazing, but it's not like horrible either. But it is one of those things where it's like it starts grading after a while. It's like you see quite quickly what they're going for. It's like, oh, she comes back, they're fighting. Oh, look, she has more people. Oh, look, she has more. Shit is getting crazier and crazier. And haha, look how funny that is. And it's like after a couple times, it's like, okay, I get the point. Yeah. Can we move on? Can we no? Okay, never mind. One more time. All right, cool. All right, fine. Now we're done. No, never mind. One more time. Okay, cool. Anyway, so let's move on to. Nope, no, never mind. One more time. All right.
I was weirdly into the dialogue of the show, and before you crucify me for that comment, what I mean is there's always, throughout the show, there's this weird innate ability to apply the characters being logical of the situation to something that's stupid. So, like, Biko's outside the gate. She's like, I challenge you to combat. And Eiko just kind of goes, why? I beat you every time. Can I just go to school? There's another one where she reveals that, oh, remember in kindergarten 10 years ago, and then her response is, oh, come on, that's ancient history. I don't even remember it. Who cares? We were children. Like, yeah, logic. The guy that hangs out in the street, that gets hit by Eiko as she's running to school. cracks into him. On the fourth one, he just goes, "Man, I was dumb. I should have just stood off to the side this whole time. Not gonna hit me today." And that's when she like busts through the house and cracks him and is like, "Okay, dude, you admitted you were stupid and you righted your wrong. That one was not your fault. I feel for you, man." There's a lot of lines throughout the 90 minutes like that, which I just felt that just feels so out of place for an anime like this.
Not really. Like it is a comedy essentially.
So is the logic exactly the comedy?
Well, it's the yes, it's like the whole straight man. I found
myself laughing at it. So
it's like the whole straight man routine, right? Somebody does something stupid, and then somebody points out how stupid it is. It's like
but they're admitting they're stupid after it all.
No, I know, but that's the idea. Except that they fucking they put it like they mess with it like who does what. But it is like it's not always the same person who admits that they themselves are being stupid. Sometimes it's somebody else pointing out that they're being stupid. It's like it is the straight man routine. They are just something is dumb. Hey, you know what? That was pretty dumb. Yeah, I guess it was. It's okay comedy. It's kind of standard Japanese comedy, but it's like again, it's when you see it enough times, it's like okay, we get the point.
Yeah, it's like just like the ever increasing size of the robots that Biko constructs to fight Eiko. It's like yeah, I get the point. Yeah.
I at least enjoyed the kind of the battle that they had, you know, Family Guy style, where they're just it's utter destruction everywhere. It leads into the ship, and there's that really funny scene of Eiko running across missiles coming out. Like it's I recently played Crash Bandicoot 4. There's a whole scene where you're hopping car to car throughout a city that's they're hover cars. I was like, man, it reminds me of that scene. I hated it. It was super hard in the game. But she's running across missiles, and it's like, that's very Kill la Kill-esque. And
pretty much. Like, I think the important thing to remember when it comes to Project Echo is that it is definitely kind of a thing of its time. But unlike most things of its time, this one didn't really die. Like, it's not super popular today, but you still see Project Echo, like, a lot. References to it. You see it
go around, yeah.
Yeah, references to it. A lot of scenes. Like I said, there are some well-animated fight scenes in it, so you still see people, like, go, oh, that looked cool, and stuff like that. And it still gets thrown around here and there. It's not like, oh, you'll find it in every conversation and every call and shit like that. But it's like, Echo still gets around.
Speaking of referenced, did you guys catch the 1970s sci-fi anime that were referenced in this show all the time? So you had Yamato, you had the captain of that ship drinking the purple wine, and he's an alcoholic, so the Harlock reference, the Galaxy Express reference, like the anime we just covered at the last episode. I believe there was Ideon references in here, something we haven't covered. And speaking of Ideon, the director of this did Dirty Pair, which I believe came out around this time. He's also the director of... I have this pulled up. Just looking through it, because there's something else in here. The comedy he was the animation director on Urusei Yatsura, the from the Ranma 1/2 chick. Name's escaping me right now. Forgive me. Rumiko. So there's a ton of references of just sci-fi popular anime of the era and the era that came before it. So if you've listened to this podcast or kept up with a lot of those anime of the times, you would catch a lot of those, which at least that I found interesting, that it's kind of a parody of it all at the same time. So not the worst thing in the world, I suppose, to do all that if you're going for a comedy.
No, it's not. Like, I don't know if it would directly classify as a parody, but it does.
No. It does a lot of references that makes you notice. I was like, oh, look,
but
Captain.
Again, it is,
and the fact that we've covered a lot of those anime on the podcast is like, hey, look at that.
That's our goal. We're just trying to We're just trying to cover every show that was referenced in Project Echo. You got us.
you caught our grand scheme.
But yeah, nah, it's again like it is essentially a action comedy. It's dumb, very 80s in a lot of regards. It separates itself somewhat from a lot of other stuff at the time, but simultaneously, I don't necessarily think that makes it good.
No,
it's just one of those things where it's like I watched it, I got through it. It was okay. I didn't hate myself. It wasn't like, oh, get me out of here. I wasn't super invested in anything. It was just like, yeah, all right, cool. So an hour and a half that I just spent, probably could have spent it doing something better, but here I am.
Mm-hmm. You got your cleavage shots. You got your 80s panty shots. The one jet pilot got a good look at Echo.
He sure did.
He sure did. What do we think? The only other thing I can think of to talk about this show is the large amount of, I guess, cross-dressing in the show. Everyone seemed to be a woman of some capacity, even when you thought they were men. Was that supposed to be comedy to an extent? I feel like it was.
I would assume so, otherwise it's just weird.
Because we had the, as Hickey said, Dee was the big brawly woman who would grunt like a man, but when she would talk, it'd come across like a really high-pitched, like, child.
Yeah. No, that is not Dee. That's Mari.
Oh, you're right. You're right, Hickey.
Dee is a woman. The captain of the ship's a woman. Everyone is a woman.
But you think they're a man at first?
No, not really. Apparently not. Men. They just sound manly, I guess. I thought they were men. Don't get me wrong. I was really grossed out by the bikini armor scene. I was like, wait, hold on a second. And I had to pause. I went to the bathroom, I washed my face, then I came back, and I put the scene again. I was like, oh. So she got double D's.
Damn right, that's why she's called D.
Yeah. Called double.
Should have called her double D.
I was like, okay, that is oof. It's like, oh, the captain is also a woman. Let's see. Interesting. Okay, right. Idol Master.
Okay, Idol Master. There's a response. All right, I'm ready to score this this anime. I'm giving it a straight 4. I'm kind of with Hickey or Tori. God damn it, me and the names today. I didn't absolutely hate it, but it's definitely not good. I think it's pretty easy 4 for me to give. 4 out of 10.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, I watched this a while ago. Apparently I was at somewhat of a good time because I gave it a 6. I mean, like I said, again, it's fine. Somewhat like I think the reason why I watched it in the first place was because I'd heard of a lot of the fights and seen a lot of the some of the clips of like the animation and whatnot. And it's like I was like curious to see what it was like, and for that, it's worthwhile. It's worth the watch. It's not something you go out of your way to watch, but it's like if you want to see something from the 80s that is animated somewhat well. Yeah. Yeah, it has its moments, but I'm mostly talking about the fight animation. The other ones are. But compared to a lot of the other stuff at this time, it's a step up.
At least it didn't get cancelled.
I mean, it would be kind of hard to cancel a movie. Right, we're going to be like halfway through the screening, like, nope, it's over, done. Everyone get out.
You don't, you know how things were in the anime industry in the 80s. That probably happened. We don't remember any instance that happened, but that probably happened.
Someone stops the movie, guy comes out with gun, leave.
Yeah, and then she's like, well, then we're canceling the project. No, we're just releasing it right now. We just don't have any money. So like, what do we do? Well, do I fucking, I don't know, PowerPoint presentation at the end? That 100% happened. But yeah, I'll give it a 4 as well.
All
I
right.
agree with both of you. But like, don't go around just because that thing you did in the 80s. Don't go around thinking it's something good.
It's amazing.
Special. It is not good and not special. If you can avoid, just avoid it. It is not worth the time, unless again you have something better to do and put it as background. If you understand somewhat understand easy Japanese, like simple Japanese, you don't need to pay a lot of attention to what is going on in the scene, on the screen. If something interesting happen, the show makes sure to let you know, either by explosion sounds, either by people getting very excited about something, so you can just stop and look at the screen. But aside that, if just sitting down for an hour and a half to watch this movie is not worth it. It's better to just go do something else.
All right. So our next anime is Violence Jack Harlem Bomber. Came out in also June of 1986, June 5th, so slightly before Project A-ko. It is by Ashi Productions, whom also had done Iria Zyram the Animation. I hope to someday we do that one, that show. A bunch of Macross stuff, etc., etc. The director was Ichiro Itano, whom came to fame by doing a lot of the Macross series, key animation in mecha scenes. He directed Angel Cop, original creator of that as well. And why I brought up the key animation roles is because he is known as kind of the de facto guy. It's called Itano Circus, where it's highly stylized, like acrobatic mech combat scenes where a bunch of missiles come across the scenes, and it comes across as kind of this circus missile show, yeah, circus missile show. So like keep that in mind as we describe kind of the shit coming out of Violence Jack here. So I have the summary from Anime Planet, and of course my anime list. I think I'm gonna go with, actually, let's just do what we did last time, Tori. I'll read the Anime Planet one, then you can read the Mal one.
Okay.
All right. Time has passed since a comet struck Earth, so another comet destroying the world, causing a catastrophic damage and decimating the population. Maybe only in Kanto, we don't know. After a giant earthquake destroyed the Kanto region of Japan, its citizens were left alone and lawless in a post-apocalyptic wasteland. Totally not Mad Max. I swear. One man, known as the Slum King, rose from the ashes and took power of the Kanto area, forcing any captured women to become sex slaves and ruling the remaining population with an iron fist. He's rivaled by only one man, Violence Jack, a giant of a man who roams from place to place, protecting the innocent and shedding ample blood in the process. Mari is a young woman who is captured by the Slum King's minions on her way to find her missing boyfriend, Ken, because Ryu was not available. Though, as she's being trained for her new life of servitude, Ken... Who was that?
That was Eki. He's very disappointed at you for that.
Why, you don't like my
keep going?
lame...
Just keep going.
Ken, who is now working for the Slum King as an Apache helicopter pilot, sees the situation and tries to free her with no plan whatsoever. However, he fails, of course, and thus finds himself forced to do the impossible. Kill the Slum King's enemy, Violence Jack.
Wow.
Yeah, that's the whole show. That's the whole OVA.
Yeah. That's the story of... Yeah, okay. All right.
Yeah, pretty much.
My anime list is not bother. So, synopsis. Kanto Hell earthquake has demolished the metropolitan completely.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, no, it's stupid. After the earthquake, Slum King is kidnapping girls. Don't even say who Slum King is, doesn't matter. Slum King is kidnapping girls. Ultimate sex slave.
The way it's described, like the way it's written, it feels like the Slum King was already roaming the Kanto region before the earthquake.
Yeah, man.
After the earthquake, he's just killing and raping himself, the people, and it's like, oh shit, a earthquake happened, and everything is destroyed. Time to try a new enterprise.
Now's my chance.
This is what I've been waiting for. Anyways, Mari is wandering on the devastated field, looking for her lover, Ken. But she is also kidnapped by them.
Good sentence.
While she is tortured and trained as a sex slave, Ken saves her. Ken has become a member of the Slum King. Member of Slum King. That Slum King was a person. The king offers condition to him in return. The king offers condition to him in return for releasing her. He has to kill Violence Jack.
Oh man,
fucking synopsis killed me.
Man, now rewrite. Where are you?
The member of Slum King.
The member of Slum King.
Yeah.
Yes, that new sex slave enterprise that's really doing quite well in the Kanto region of Japan.
Yeah.
I like that. It's like, no one says like, oh, it destroyed the world. Oh, it destroyed Japan. It's just, it destroyed the Kanto region. So the rest of Japan is cool. They just like...
I would assume so. Like, I mean, it's tied into a bigger universe, but it's like, the only thing that matters to Violence Jack is fucking Kanto. So, yeah, I guess it's just Kanto that's fucked. It is the Kanto Hell Earthquake, after all. Because...
Yeah.
Love that name, by the way.
Like, oh, shit.
We need more names like that in our disasters.
Why is it called the Kanto Hell Earthquake? Well, you see, because it happened in Kanto, it was literal hell, and or it caused literal hell, and it was an earthquake. So
right. I wonder. I'm very disappointed they didn't have a name for the blood red tidal wave tsunami that hit during the battle opening scene between Slum King and Violence Jack.
That's not.
Is that Slum King?
That was Slum King.
That was Slum King.
Oh, what is the name of the
Harlem Bomber?
Harlem Bomber. Yeah.
Yeah, he was the blonde American looking dude.
Yeah, he's Harlem Bomber.
Yeah.
Why you gotta question these names? They're all great. Yeah, so this OVA was 37 minutes. There's 2 that followed. I guess we'll get into the other 2 just kind of loosely, but the main one here is just this Harlem Bomber arc where, yeah, you just get thrown into these arc series very quick. You get a full introduction, love, betrayal, and wraps around to one character all in the span of 22 minutes. That's Yumi, who's very much out of the Dirty Pair character artwork universe, with her red hair, blonde tipped, dyed hair. But I love some of these names here. We have Rose, who is the BDSM thorn whip woman. Really bent on, dude, guys. We got to talk about the amazing vaginal pleasure she gives women to really make them just submit to her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a whole scene we see. It's a whole scene we see in this OVA here where she gives Yumi the the good 411 on the birds and the bees there, and Yumi gets drowned in sweaty pleasure, and shortly afterwards she betrays Mari.
Yeah, I was like, damn, that was some good ass sex.
Must have been some
shit.
great ass sex, yeah.
and she was like, oh no, she was jealous because you have a boyfriend. I was like, oh come on, really? Are you gonna have a excuse my language?
I would have really preferred just like she gave me the best vag ever.
Yes, like, and she was like, you know what? Now I think that being a sex slave is not such a bad life, and I would be okay with that. But it's like, yeah, no, you have a boyfriend.
You found your boyfriend. Fuck off. Like, boo.
Yeah,
boo.
Because I suffered a lot in my life. It's like, oh my god.
I suffered a lot in my life. Look around us. Who hasn't?
Right. It's like, oh yeah, just you.
Yeah, do you understand that we will become sexually. Like, do you understand? Maybe it's not that bad of a life then, I guess. You got food and you have sex. I guess that's good enough.
It's good enough for some people, I guess. I mean, Rose was certainly into it. No, I will handle this one myself.
Amen.
Strapping Mario to a chair, forcing her to watch. This is your fate.
Are you getting excited? Yeah.
Dude, this OVA went as far as to showing Yumi face down on the bed afterwards, and it actually showed the nice After Effect liquid dripping down her leg. Like, damn.
Never mind the fucking orgy going on
right,
in
the orgy in the next room
like
going down.
Times.
It was great. They were very sure to show a lot of that.
In case it wasn't already obvious, there's a whole lot of sexual violence going on in this one.
Yeah. Oh, the second one.
The second one is even worse. But we'll get there. We'll talk about the second one later. Well, I have thoughts on all of them, but I have thoughts on that second one.
So a couple of the other names that we're not really that's I believe what we're introduced to in OVA 2 and 3 here is Count Broken and Laser. Love these names. So yes, so the car crashes. The car that's transporting all these future slave women to be raped and pillaged of their dignity runs into Violence Jack.
I guess.
What, you don't like the way I phrased that?
Oh no, it was a nice metaphorical use of the word pillage. I like that.
Okay,
it was better than the joke with you.
Well, I mean, I have my moments. So
we can discuss that later.
I maybe not. So in the world of Go Nagai, because that's who created this, the Debru Man himself, the slave woman truck runs into Violence Jack, and that's how they escape. They run for their lives accordingly in their awesome 80s clothing. And Violence Jack, as the show is very apt to put it, gives him a whole background. He carries around his jack knife. And for our wrestling fans out there that listen to the wrestling podcast, yes, I'm going to go there. One of the main dudes on the show is Kevin Nash in our old WCW reviews. His signature move is the jackknife, so I kind of laughed at that. I was like, man, I hope he powerbombs this dude, but nah, he's just a dagger he calls his jackknife, so very funny. Simple humor. The Ryu joke sounds much better in my head, Hickey. Please forgive me.
Okay. No, it's okay. It happens. It happens.
So what 1986 OVAs, yeah, 1986 OVAs, these mid to late 80s. You expect violence. In a show like Violence Jack, oh, you get it. Because heads are literally ripped like taffy off of heads. Blood drips from the body, just like a water faucet. And I love the camera depictions of the aftermath where it shows like just the neck hole and it's just blood and guts inside, like intestines looking all the way down. Love these things. Good touches, Violent Jack. Or Violence Jack, not Violent Jack.
Yeah, he's not violent, he's violence.
He's pure violence, not violent.
Yeah. I'm still trying to understand what they mean by the effect phrase of, but if you survive all the violence, you can see the glimpse of intelligence in his eyes. Like, well, what? Why is that relevant? What? So he's not an animal?
No, he's not an animal.
I was like, okay, interesting. So why do you need to remind me all the time that he has a glimpse of intelligence in his eyes?
It's about the human nature.
Sure. I also have 20-story tall humans walking outside. Yeah.
You don't?
I do. I just said I do.
Well, it's funny you mention that because when they describe the man, he stands at just over 2 meters tall. I was like, so he's 6'6"?
That man is at least 4 meters tall.
Like they made this guy look like he was 8 feet tall.
Yeah, no, it's so dumb, right? Because it's like, oh, he's like 2 meters tall, and that's that moment where you have to fucking just go back and be like, oh yeah, right, they're Asian.
Yeah, okay, so everyone's like 4'10", 5'2", and this dude's 6'6".
Now it explains why everybody he's built like a skyscraper. It's like, oh, okay, he's 2 meters tall. He's barely taller than me.
He's tall,
okay.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. They gave the wrong measurements. That man is 2 meters wide.
Right.
Fucking that man doesn't have one size. I swear, if he gets angry enough, he gets bigger.
I thought they were going to go as far to say, like, the meteorite that hit and the earthquakes caused, like, radiation and shit to come out. Maybe from, I don't know, maybe there was a uranium deposit they were going to go crazy into. It is the 80s, after all. Earthquakes were just being discovered with plate tectonics of the time. There's your geology reference for all you guys. But no, it's just he's a giant man. There's no, like, crazy radioactive circumstance to why he's tall. Maybe they go into that in the other OVAs, but...
They don't. No, but there's a reason why he is. There's a reason why he is. Like, Violence Jack essentially serves as a sequel to Devilman. And,
the fang teeth and red eyes and shit, and the crazy green hair flowing throughout the storms. Nah, I don't see the Devilman references. No,
but it's like, from what I understood, he is a... He was created by Satan himself.
Okay.
So there is a reason why he is what he is, but it's
kind of wish the show should have.
It's essentially Satan was kind of just like, all that things that happened in Devil. I kind of regret that. So let's have a do-over. Violence Jack.
Yeah.
I kind of wish the show would have, maybe mentioned
gangs and Ray.
Oh man, Devilman and Fist of the North Star, yeah.
It's like, oh man, my gay lover died. Shit, I guess I'll do something about it. Oh man, yeah, no, like they don't explain. It just becomes way more ridiculous. Like the third OVA, he catches on fire. He doesn't give a shit. Then he gets shot to death. People like discharge hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of ammo on him, hundreds of thousands, maybe.
Oh yeah,
a lot of ammo. They shoot him with a fucking rocket launcher. He doesn't get shit. By the end, he's just punching this dude, and someone shoots him. No, it's the second OVA.
Obviously, his muscles are harder than steel.
OVA. Yeah, the second OVA, he's punching the dude, and a fucking she-male shoots him in the back, and it doesn't even penetrate the fucking t-shirt.
Yeah.
I was like, holy shit, that man is angry.
Yeah, no, it's so funny, right? But the thing that I find most hilarious or like most ridiculous about him was like in the second OVA when he fights like the fucking other big dude in that. I don't remember his name right now, but like fucking, no, it's just like the stupid thing at the end was like, oh my god, you've sold your soul to the devil. Like, yeah, Jack says to that man, I'm just like, you are literally created. What? Why is this? Okay, cool. Fucking, what is this? It's so dumb. It's so stupid. There's so much dumb shit happening.
So, when we get Mari and what's her face? Yumi talking. Yumi, the voice of reason here, goes, your boyfriend's probably dead. Let's not get caught for sex slavery. And Mari goes, no, I'll risk it. Cue the epic backstory of the before times when they were standing in the park kissing her lover. Oh. Well, in the Kanto Hell earthquake, I think it's safe to assume he would be dead. But, of course, he is the Apache helicopter guy under Slum King. So Mari's caught. She's about to get she's about to get the birds and the bees, suffer the same fate as Yumi from our main girl Rose. And that's when Apache helicopter guy, just Kenichi, that's his name. Kenichi just happens to be passing by the orgy, the orgy floor, and then sees Mari there. Oh my god, my ex-lover! And his reaction is naturally very calm and collective, knowing whom he works for. He proceeds to drive this Apache helicopter straight to the side of the building, leap out, and say, "No, she's mine."
Yeah.
Very calm, collective response.
I mean, wouldn't you? Especially in this world where you take everything. Just like that, fuck you, mine.
Yeah, so, naturally the response of his employers is, that's not how it works here. You are going to die now, and we're going to sell this girl into slavery. She is ours. Oh, come on. Just this one time? Well, okay, how about this? You go kill the guy who rips people's heads off, and will, this is the words, will spare her.
Yeah.
All right. Let's break this down. They didn't say he'll live.
Man.
They didn't say she won't go into slavery anyways. They just said we'll let her live. So the ultimatum is really, we know where this is going.
Look, man, we do pillage, rape, and kill, but we have rules. You know, you gotta follow them.
Yeah, you gotta have structure with Slum King.
Yeah.
It's a business. He's gotta run a business over there, man.
Yeah. Sex is like tycoon.
Most successful business in Kanto. Not that he has much competition.
Sex slavery, yeah.
Yeah, I don't think he has a lot of competition.
You saw.
I mean, he has the like Hellswind gang, I guess.
Yeah.
Well, they're not really a business. They're kind of just.
I prefer to look at it as a business.
They're kind of just assholes.
The monopoly that runs over Slum Town. And let's talk about what happens next, because Harlem Bomber over here, or as how it's written on my anime list, Halem Bomber.
Halem, yeah.
Yeah, Halem. He wants to kill Violence Jack himself for the glory. Violence Jack is but one man. So what if he kills a bunch of minions all by himself and lonesome? His idea is to go into Slumtown and commit genocide.
Mm-hmm.
What was that sound?
Yes. No, it was in your end.
That was from me.
Yep.
Wow. That's from the PlayStation app. That's weird.
PlayStation is, of course, PlayStation is spying on you. Yeah.
You didn't know?
I got a message from someone that's clearly spam. So let's get out of that. Block? Cool. Alright, yeah. So genocide in Slumtown to, I guess, draw out Violence Jack, the protector of justice, by ripping heads off? Sure?
I mean, like, it makes sense because he does come to rescue people. It's just that, as with anything in these types of shows, Violence Jack has a terrible habit of showing up too late to actually help anyone.
Well, I mean, like, to be fair,
I would have saved these people, but they're already dead. So instead, let's do the second best thing and just murder everyone.
I mean, to be fair, he's got to go everywhere on foot.
True. But, you know, at the same time, he's pretty good at it. He tends to show up where everything happens.
I mean, eventually, yeah. I mean, he's
even before things happen, he's
limited, Tori. He's limited.
No. He just shows up where he needs to be, and then it's like, all right, cool. Can you help us? I will soon. I just need to, I don't know, go jerk off or something first. I don't know what he does.
He goes to hell. Yes.
Does he know?
He mentioned something like that when he gets revived. But
yeah, I guess he does. He also takes people with him and puts them through tests and shit like that. But either way, I don't think that's in the anime either.
Yeah, no, that was a little bit weird. It's like, he does.
He did in a couple of chapters.
Fucking Christmas spirit now.
he did in a couple of chapters. In the manga, he fucking like does some weird shit and tests people to see what they're actually made of.
Heroin, I see.
Yeah, pretty much.
Well, I did get a kick out of the final showdown. So you got Kenichi against Violence Jack and Harlem Bomber. They're taking on Violence Jack shortly thereafter the encounter. So Kenichi throws a knife into the dude's eye, Violence Jack's eye. He's just like, ugh, that's pesky, a knife in my eye? Let's get this out of here, and he walks away. Cue fight with Harlem Bomber. Cue Kenichi in his Apache helicopter. Violence Jack is tied up against a giant telephone pylon situation with a rope, and he's just holding an Apache helicopter with one arm because Harlem Bomber had cut his arm off, or at least half of it. Mm-hmm. And Violence Jack rips the Apache helicopter out of the sky, makes it crash into the ground, in which Mari, who is in the helicopter, flies out, gets knocked unconscious, but Kenichi, this poor guy, he just lands back first, head onto the concrete, dies immediately upon contact, blood on the ground. I was like, that sucks for you. I can't help but laugh at how that went down. I definitely laughed out loud.
Yeah, no.
It went exactly like that.
He was like, oh, let's escape now. I was like, no, we need your help. Violence Jack is like, what part of that dude is immortal have you missed? And they try to help him, and he just like gets the short stick, and it's just like, boom, dead. Okay.
Yeah, just sorry, all right, I guess that's over.
I was like, oh shit, that is anticlimactic. Holy shit. That's so this OVA serves literally no purpose aside the violence and rape.
Are you telling me, aside from violence and rape, Violence Jack didn't have more than that?
It has the moral of helping the weak. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess.
It has the moral of, when in doubt and people need your help, don't show up until they've all been brutally raped and murdered, and then show up and murder everybody who murdered them.
Yeah, that's good enough.
Yeah, it's good enough. It's good enough for 1986.
This is how peace was created.
Pretty much. Just look at the UN history and conflict.
So, one-armed, one-eyed Violence Jack here kills Harlem Bomber to nobody's surprise. Violent to death, mind you. Yeah. Big skewer through the midsection. Blood spouts out Kill Bill style. Very nice scene. My bloodlust was satisfied with that one. So it was a good payoff. Really reminded me of Fist of the North Star type death there, without the 5 points of explosion or whatever it's called.
Would have been very funny if they did that.
Blood as well.
Yeah. Then we get our final scene, which just made me. I shook my head. I laughed. I went through a series of emotions. So Violence Jack conjures up a storm on top of a hill of bodies and skeletons and shit. Sticks his jackknife into the air. Lightning strikes him. He screams out to the Hell Kanto region. We didn't see his arm grow back, but we saw his eye grow back.
Yeah, but and then just
cue the 80s music and it ends. It was like, okay.
If it was something that happened in every, like, the other two OVAs, I guess it would be okay. But it only happened in the first one. So, like, when Yumi wakes up and the building, like, the building collapsed. There's no building anymore, only the desert. And then, like, fucking Phoenix flies, and then just Violence Jack appear fading out in the background. And
right,
then
he turned into a bird.
I don't know. I honestly do not know. Because again, it only happened at that episode. I don't know.
What was like the only thing Tammy really needed it.
Yumi forgot about her boyfriend and just walked into the sunset.
You mean Mari?
It was Mari. Yumi was the other one, the envious one that, like, why?
At least she got a good lay before she went.
Oh, good guy. Yeah.
Listen, man. Of course she didn't care anymore. Like, she found her ex-boyfriend, found out that he was still alive, and now she knows he's dead, and it's like, well, I guess I gotta move on with my life.
Yeah.
There are plenty of other men in this world, and most of them are something else.
Does Mari continue into the next OVAs, or do we just
Nope.
forget about her?
No, she just walks into the sunset, and that's it.
Presumably dies of thirst in the desert.
None of the OVAs matter, like stories matter to each other, and for that matter,
Aside the last one,
not
the
even.
kid?
Not even. Because they're, if I'm not mistaken, I think pretty much every OVA of Violence Jack is in like reverse order. Because I'm pretty sure like Hell's Wind happens before, Hell's Wind happens before Hell City. And I think Harlem Bumper is also later. I'm not entirely sure on that one though. I'm not actually entirely sure, but regardless. So yeah, it's not. It's not like it's not a continuous story, if that makes sense. It's like you're technically going backwards, which is a little bit lame because when you then get to the final OVA, it's like the most anticlimactic OVA of them all. It's just like, what are we fighting now? Biker gang.
Awesome.
Cool.
Cool, I guess.
Does that matter at all? Like, are they big evil, difficult for Jack to kill because there's so many of them? No, not really. It's just he gets knocked out in the first. He gets knocked out in the first round. Not gonna lie, but that's mostly just because they were all like, "Who's that? I don't know. Shoot him." And then instead of doing anything, he just kind of stands there and takes all the bullets and shouts at the kid like, "No!" The fucking the kid of the village that the biker gang has just fucking attacked and killed and raped. While they're trying to flee, they run into Violence Jack, and they start shooting at him. And then the kid is running after him. And he's like, goes out and he sees it. Sees Violence Jack get shot at, gets his blood in his eyes, and he turns away. And Jack's just like, "No, kid. Don't turn away. Look at this. Look at me. Burn this scene into your eyes."
Yeah, I was like, the fuck is your problem, dude? I was like, what is the point of this? And I like, when they say get shot, we mean it. It is getting strafed by the AC 130 level of getting shot. Like getting strafed by many machine guns and rifles, a lot of bullets, like thousands of bullets, and the guy just doesn't go down, and he just tumbles. I guess
it's so weird because he takes a shot in the second OVA and it doesn't matter. It doesn't fucking. He gets hit by a grenade in that third episode, the OVA. It doesn't matter. He gets shot by a goddamn fucking Stinger missile in the third OVA as well. It also didn't matter. It's like, why?
The fucking Apache helicopter as well.
Yes.
Like shit. It took thousands upon thousands of rifle caliber bullet to knock the guy down.
Literally, all I can imagine because of how he's been treating bullets in this entire time, and then suddenly here it's all of a sudden affecting him. All I can think is like, he did that on purpose, just to fucking scare that kid.
Of course he did on purpose.
No, but I mean, like, he can take bullets, but in this one he's just like, there's a kid here. Let me show what it's like to get shot.
Yeah,
makes sense to me.
So, the random kid. We will see each other again.
You are a brave kid, and there should be more people like you. He hit the entire... What? Excuse me?
The fuck is your problem, dude? The nipple-less woman was more courageous than the fucking kid.
Yeah. It was only kind of just like, I want to protect people, and it's like, well, here's your chance. It's like, I'm like 7 years old, dude. Like, relax.
Yeah.
I mean, I respect it. I'm not expecting him to do anything. He's a 7-year-old kid who fucking idea of a weapon was a sharp stick. Probably won't get you very far in this world, but you know what? It's a start.
I just love that scene. It's like, I have a knife. I'm gonna make a weapon, a stick. I was like, Why don't you just tie the knife to the stick?
Right. I need a weapon. Use this knife to make pointy stick. All right. Sure. No, but you don't understand. It was an arrow for his bow that he lost, I assume. And then they picked up real guns later that they never used because, but nah.
You have violence check. Violence check doesn't give a shit.
Yeah, and then it's like the end when they
I
fight
like
the
that line.
biker gang.
Violence Jack doesn't give a shit.
Yeah, and then you have like the end when they fight when they finally go to the House Wind biker gang. They have like there's this woman who wants revenge for the death of her boyfriend because again. And she is like chasing them down, trying to kill them.
Brutal. Like the beginning.
Oh hell yeah!
Is fucking like the violence in the show doesn't compare to the opening scene of fucking the third OVA.
Yeah,
like, that thing is like when they use the chainsaw to chain the guy's legs off. Like I had a really hard time looking at the first contact. Because
Can I just say
it's so well animated that it makes contact and it doesn't rip the flesh.
Yeah.
It kind of drags it with it and then just cuts it in one motion. I was like, damn, holy
Can we just appreciate how apparently somebody has done some fucking research? Because the chainsaw doesn't just rip through everything immediately. Like it goes through flesh and it drags the flesh off, but it's kind of struggles with bones and like larger sections because the fucking chainsaw is going to get goddamn jammed.
So I've had the second OVA here playing throughout this podcast as I'm just like looking at it. I've just reached this scene where there's like this mass outdoor orgy happening with sex slaves, and Violence Jack is just brutally murdering everybody there, and it's incredibly violent and depicting of
that's the end, towards the end, isn't it?
It is a little bit
he's about to
when Blue the female will rape the
that woman literally got ripped in half, intestines and all.
Yeah, it's like he is pretty brutal. There's one like even the start of that scene, it's like they're getting attacked and they're running away, and it's like, okay, cool. And then one woman was like, no, I'm going to stay behind. You all get to safety. Don't worry, I'll be fine. And then Violence Jack just runs after, and he's like, I hope they're all okay. And then they get to the fucking place where they are, and he walks in through the door, and you just see her there fucking cut up, like, just has stuff shoved in both her vagina and her mouth, and it's just like, she got what she deserved. Like, the fucking written on it's like, holy fucking shit. This is like uncomfortable levels of fucking gratuitous violence and fucking sexual violence. Like,
pretty nuts.
I'm not somebody who's like fucking, who's normally like too like
disturbed by it.
Yeah, but here I'm just sitting there, I was like, this is disgusting.
Like the woman gets split.
Disgusting.
The woman gets split in half from her vagina down. Like, good God. And
it was actually the second OVA that made me want to just get like a glimpse of the manga to see how that compares. So I kind of read through. I didn't read the manga per se, but I went through a little bit of it and like looked at shit, and it's like it really quickly came to realize like how much liberty they took with these OVAs, especially when it comes to gratuitous violence and sexual violence. Because I'm just like there's sexual violence in the manga. Don't get that wrong. But it is like nowhere near the same level as it is in the OVA. It was just like, I'm saying, okay, yeah, that's uncomfortable, and then it's here.
This dude just kissed a disembodied head.
He eats her or him.
We will become one. Oh my God, he is actually eating the head. Yeah.
No, that's when he makes the pact with the devil, quote unquote.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, no, it's...
Yeah. That scene was just...
The second OVA is just like...
He's eating the thigh and leg like a drumstick.
Yeah. The second OVA is just like, it is... Yeah. That's the best way I can describe it. It is for me, it's the worst of them all, honestly.
Oh, yeah, no, like, fucking... They fucking beheaded a kid, dude.
Not even beheaded a kid. They went all into the kids. It's like fucking like, I hate kids. Fuck these kids.
You are inside me.
It's like-
Oh,
I thought at
his
least
bones
one
are
would survive,
popping out of
but
his skin
no.
and shit.
Nah.
Gross.
No. There is
like,
just
holy.
so much fucked up shit that happens in that second OVA, and it's like the second OVA hits that high, and then the third OVA comes out, and it's just like it's over. Jack finally kills the fucking the biker gang and shit like that, and it's just like, is that it? That was all.
Yep.
Like, okay. It's
Devilman.
It's such a
Devilman
wet
theme
fart.
starts to play. No.
It's such a fucking wet fart, man.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah.
All right. I'm ready to score it.
I am also ready to score it.
Gratuitous violence, simplistic, 37 minutes, not a lot of plot. I just gave it a 5.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I
Short
will
and
give my
simple.
scores. Yeah, I'll give my scores for all of the OVAs since I watched them all. Starting with Harlem Bomber, the first one, I give that one a 5. It's again, like I said, gratuitous violence, over the top, not very entertaining for me. Like I've watched a lot of other
No, there's
gratuitous
definitely
violence
things way
OVAs.
better. Yeah.
Yeah, even Genocyber is better than this. Because at least Genocyber tried to tell its own stories. The OVA here kind of said, they looked at the Gona Guy's original manga and they were like, who cares? It's violence. So yeah, a 5 for the first one. The second one, which would be Helltown or Evil Town, I guess. I gave that one a 4 because, god damn it, this is like, this is probably the first time. This is probably the first time I've ever been, just straight up uncomfortable with the amount of like gratuitous violence and sexual assault that happens here. It's like, that is way too much. It is way too.
That is true. They show
Way too graphic.
like in 60 FPS almost the less rape.
Oh yeah.
I was like, oh man, damn.
Even the rape scenes, they're
That's
going
dangerous.
all in on them. It's like, nope.
Everyone has massive
it.
dicks for some reason.
Listen, man, this is what happens. Yeah, and the last one, which would be Hell's Wind, that I also gave a 4. It's mostly just for the fact that it's so... It's so... I don't understand why they made this last, especially considering the fact that it technically happens before Evil Town anyways, but I don't see why you would stop it here. It's such a letdown of it's not an ending, but it's such a letdown of like a final OVA. It's like, I guess people complained and said it was too much, and they were like, all right, let's tone it down a little bit, and then it's like you end up with this as kind of just like, I want revenge. I couldn't get revenge, so I almost got raped, but then for once, Jack actually showed up in time and saved the day. Kind of. At least depends on who you are. If you're some random dude living in Hope Town, and definitely not. You were murdered hard.
Yeah. Let's see. I'll give 554. The first two, like they're every single one of them is in the same category of Project Echo, honestly. But the difference between the first and the second OVA from Violence Jack is they are very, very easy to consume. They're trash. But I had an easy time looking at the screen. Also, like all the violence, those sexual violence in the second one doesn't bother me that much, probably because I'm used to Eroguro. So I'm just, again, the exception. But yeah, I was entertained in the other ones. The third one is just
Meh.
like I couldn't be. It is the same sensation of I could been using this time to do something better. Especially because Jack becomes so fucking ridiculous in the last one, like so fucking ridiculous that it breaks the immersion. At least in the other ones, you have like the grotesque stuff. The second one especially is like I could not take my eyes off the screen because holy shit. The third one is just like Jack is invincible. He like so many things happen in like again he got hit by thousands of ammunition rounds. He got hit by a Stinger missile. When he got hit by the Stinger missile, he holds it with his hands explode. Then he goes through the ground to one of the guys, and as he's catching fire, he just hugs the dude, and the guy catches on fire as well. Like it's like he uses the fucking jackknife as a boomerang and stuff. It is it is way too ridiculous to the point of breakage of emotion. Some people are not that annoyed by those kind of things because it's the nature of the show. I understand and I believe that applies to the first and the second OVA. For the third OVA, I think it was a little bit too much in the breakage of immersion. Because of that, as a 4, I wasn't enjoying myself watching that. The first and the second one, they are more enjoyable, in my opinion. Of course, the second one has those problems, as Tori mentioned, and it can make you extremely uncomfortable. I was uncomfortable, but not as much because of being used to it. Not only because of Eroguro, but also because of life experience when I was working with criminal cases, and I saw those things live. A lot of times with footage of those kind of things. So I'm used to looking at that. Doesn't affect me so much. It is an exception. Bear that in mind. Should you watch Violence Jack? Yes. If you have to choose between Project Echo and Violence Jack, I would go Violence Jack.
I agree with that statement.
Yeah, basically. I'd go with something else entirely. And
well, obviously, Tori.
If you need to choose between both of them, I would just watch fucking Devilman, the Netflix one.
Listen, man, if you are your average Twitter user in 2020, then first of all, why are you listening to this? Second of all,
what does that mean, Tori?
Stay away from this.
You cannot get past.
You know exactly what I mean.
Both series are bad.
All right.
Yeah. No.
Somebody's gonna get canceled over this.
Oh yeah. Forget all the times they said, "Oh no, it's okay to commit genocide." Just, watching fucking Violence Jack, man. That is the bad thing.
All right. So this was episode 89 of the Red Leaf Retrocast. Our last episode of 2020 is our next one. And then we'll be going on a little Christmas New Year's break. I guess we gotta talk off mic here and discuss what's next for 2021. So with that, everybody, thanks for listening. We'll see you next time.
Peace.
See ya.